there was a total of 20 legs on those chairs.
So there are exactly 40 legs.
Pause. What? What is going on, people? I'm back with another video. As you can see, I'm a little sick. Not doing all right. I don't know. This probably tells you this is probably not a good idea for me to record this video looking like this. But honestly, you know, we're on that grind 24/7. So ain't no sickness stopping me. You know what I'm saying? If you know me personally, you know I like to read. Now I like to read fiction books, non-fiction reading. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Fantastic book, right? When I'm not reading non-fiction self-help books, I like to read mystery books. Specifically, any Agatha Christie murder mystery books. I love those type of books. So I like the mystery of things, which also includes riddles. I love riddles, even though I suck at them, but I love riddles. So I thought, wouldn't it be a fantastic and great idea to make a video of me trying to solve some riddles with you guys? Plus, I'm sick. I can't go out. I can't go hit the gym. I'm bored. So I might as well do this. If you guys like this video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe, because that would help me a lot and I would really appreciate if you did so.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Tommy was exploring old caves outside the city when he got trapped in a mysterious dungeon. There were
Dumbass.
3 ways out, but only one of them was safe. Behind the first door, a fire was raging.
Fire.
Behind the second door, there was acid rain, which could melt any substance within seconds.
Acid rain.
Behind the third door, there was a huge brown bear that hadn't eaten for 2 years. Which way should Tommy choose?
This one's easy. Go with the bear. It's been 2 years. That bear dead.
Tommy should choose the third way. No animal can go for 2 years without food and survive.
That's right.
It was a stormy day, and it had been raining for several hours straight. A car accident happened in a tunnel. The yellow car crashed into the red one. The driver of the yellow car said it had been raining so heavily he hadn't seen anything. So the accident wasn't totally his fault.
Right.
But the police asked the man to stop lying and claimed it was all his fault. Why?
What? Wait, I completely missed probably some of the information he said. Why? Because it wasn't raining. It had stopped raining. I don't know. I didn't pay attention, to be honest.
The accident happened in the tunnel. It couldn't be raining there. Mrs. McAdams, who was having a day off with her friends, came back home in the middle of the day to change her clothes. There, she found out that her daughter, Eveline, who she'd grounded, wasn't at home. Mrs. McAdams got angry and texted Eveline, asking where she was. Eveline texted her back, saying she was at school. The girl even attached a picture of the classroom. Mrs. McAdams didn't believe her daughter and told her to come home immediately. How did she understand Eveline wasn't at school?
Okay, how could she have known? Because Mrs. Eveline is her teacher. That's why.
Look closely at her cell phone. It's Sunday. There's no school on Sundays. Ned works in a
My goal here is to get at least 5 riddles correct. I've got 1 so far. Let's keep it going.
club. His job is to check people's ID cards and to not let suspicious people or people younger than 21 years old get inside.
A bouncer, okay.
Take a look at these 3 ID cards.
All right. Let's see. So we have 3 people here. Who cannot or who should not enter the club? We got my boy over here, Holden Cameron Pack. That's a weird name. Address: 1334 Fifth Avenue, New York, 10 whatever. Date of birth: February the 1st, 2000. Then we got my girl Shu Wang. Address is from Chicago. Date of birth: July 29th, 1993. Then we got Brio Louisa West. My girl's from Seattle, Washington. Shout out the Seahawks. Date of birth: September 31st, 1999. So here we go. Who do we think should not be in the club? Now this all depends also, like, obviously we would think, well, the youngest person is my boy Holden Pack, right? But if we pay close attention, I still think it's Holden Pack. I don't know. It also depends on when the year was uploaded, so or the video was uploaded, what year. So I'm gonna go with Hold'em Pack.
The first person is already 21, and nothing else looks suspicious in his ID. The second girl seems alright too. It's written that Brielle was born on September 31st. But such date doesn't exist. Her ID must be fake.
Oh my gosh. How am I supposed to know September doesn't have 31 days, bro? No one knows that information. Who goes through the calendar and studies what month has so many days? I don't. I've never heard of anyone that does that. So my boy over here, the bouncer, really studies the calendar and like, you know what, September 31st, that doesn't exist. So that's a fake. No one knows that information. But
Mrs.
hey, shout out to
Cabell
him.
is the owner of a small company producing expensive designer cups. On Friday, when the working week was finally over, she got a call from her bank. The woman found out that someone had stolen all the money she had saved.
Sued.
Mrs. Cabell realized it must have been one of her workers, so she asked each of them what they had been doing that day. Sloan, a sales manager, said she had been talking to their clients and looking for new ones.
Okay.
Atticus, a potter, said he always made 1 cup a day, and he showed all the cups he had done that week. Sierra, a designer, said she had been working, but she also admitted she hadn't been really productive that day because of some family issues. Who lied?
It's the man in the middle. He made 1 cup per day of the week. A normal week has 5 days of work week. So it's the middle guy.
Atticus. There are 5 working days in a regular week. The man said he made 1 mug a day, but he only showed 4 mugs. He missed 1 day of work.
Sherlock Holmes ain't got shit on
Lennox
me.
and friends living in the same college dorm. One day, Lennox reported that something had happened to his friend.
Okay.
He said Finn hadn't left his room all day. He also never responded to any of Lennox's texts.
Damn.
In the evening, Lennox started to worry and knocked on Finn's door. But
I mean, I'd be worried too if my boy doesn't come out of the room the whole day and doesn't respond to my text. I'd be worried too.
the guy didn't answer. Lennox peeked through the keyhole and saw that his friend was lying on the floor.
Bodied.
So he called the police. After that, Lennox got arrested. Why?
Got him. Why did Lennox get arrested? I'm thinking. Good question. I have no idea. My wild guess. Why did he get arrested? If he hadn't came out all day, why didn't he peek through the door or in the first place? Okay, at the beginning, if you call your friend and he doesn't answer, why wouldn't you have peeked through the door hole or the keyhole in the first place? Why wait until the end? You know?
Lennox has a bandage on his right eye, but the keyhole is located in such a way that it's only possible to look inside with the right eye.
What? How?
It means the guy couldn't do it. He simply knew what had happened.
That's such a lie that you can still look through your left eye. I mean, you might have to get in a weird position, but I mean, it's still possible.
Esme was having a walk in the forest and got lost.
Well, takes a walk through the forest just like that. If you're not following a trail, what are you doing?
For about the 20th time. Hey, don't ask. Anyway, she found the witch's house, walked in, said hi, petted the cat, and asked the witch to show her the way home.
Dang!
But the witch had a problem. She was learning a new spell and accidentally did something.
Hold on, get you. You're a witch and you can't fix your teeth? Come on now. Get you some Harry Potter spell. What was that spell that Hermione did in the first movie? Fix your teeth, something like that. I don't know.
Arranged to her chairs. On the bright side, she now had a riddle for Esme to solve.
All right.
The witch had 20 chairs.
20 chairs.
Now, some of the chairs only had 2 legs, and half of the rest had no legs at all. How many legs did all these 20 chairs have in total?
Wait, half of the chairs didn't have legs or full legs. So repeat that.
How many Some of the chairs only had 2 legs, and half of the rest had no legs at all. How many legs did all these 20 chairs have in total?
Well, he says some of the chairs had 2 legs and half, meaning that if 10 of them had no legs, that means the other 10 needed to have only 2, right? That means that there was a total of 20 legs on those chairs?
We know that some of the chairs have, on average, 2 legs per chair. The rest of them have either 4 legs or no legs at all. And since half of the rest have no legs and the other half have 4, together they have 2 legs per chair. So there are exactly 40 legs.
Pause. What?
Mr. Tucker was a businessman. He wanted to find an interesting hobby to impress people. He chose art, even though he knew nothing about it.
Same.
Still, he kept buying paintings and even owned a couple of famous masterpieces. He liked to invite his potential business partners over to show off his collection.
Gotta flex.
One day, his guest was Miss Geneva Darby, a young lady who owned a jewelry business. As always, Mr. Tucker boasted about his collection, but Miss Darby wasn't impressed.
Ooh.
Why?
Why? Because she's the one that sold the art. That's why.
Look closer at this supposedly 16th century painting. There are a couple of cars on the road, but there were no cars at that time, so the painting must be fake. Evie and Kai were planning to go on a bike tour with their friends.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Evie didn't feel well, so she can't.
Bro, hit some legs, bro. Chicken legs. Idiot. I can't stand people that don't hit legs. Y'all be going to the gym, getting pumps, getting maxes, and your legs look like chicken legs. Step up.
Canceled on her friends and asked Kai to stay with her. Kai was disappointed but agreed.
Okay.
Evie fell asleep. When she woke up, she already felt better.
Okay.
She offered Kai to ride their bikes a bit, just the two of them. But when they went outside, Evie realized that while she had been sleeping, Kai had been out with the friends without her. How did she understand it?
That's a bitch ass friend. There's water right there, meaning that's either his sweat, which if that's his sweat, my man, you gotta go see a medic because that's not a normal thing. If not, that's water that he used to spray down his bike so that she wouldn't notice that he went out riding.
Look, Evie's bike is all wet. It must have been raining while she was asleep. But Kai's bike is dry. It means that he used it and then wiped it off. Or maybe he wasn't even in the area when it was raining. 2 weeks ago, a bank was robbed, but the robber hadn't been found yet. A phone call woke Detective Callum up in the middle of the night.
All right.
His colleague reported that a farmer had found the money. When the detective arrived, he questioned the farmer. The man said, I argued with my wife and went outside. That's when I found a bag
Who walks like that?
with money in a cornfield. Detective Callum asked if the farmer had noticed anything suspicious before. The farmer replied, about 2 weeks ago, before going to bed, I looked out of the window. I saw a man walking through the field. It was a full moon and I could clearly see his silhouette. But there wasn't enough light to notice more details about him. The farmer was arrested. Why?
Okay, so full moon, silhouette, because it was a corn maze? A full moon should be enough to see someone's face. So I'm guessing that's what it is. I think so far I've only gotten 2 right.
The farmer said it had been a full moon 2 weeks before, but it's impossible. As you see, it's a full moon now. The farmer is lying.
Bro.
But why? Ashley was hurrying to an unplanned business meeting. She asked her boyfriend, Dean, to walk the dog. Dean agreed. But then his friend called and invited him to play a new video game. So the guy decided to skip walking the dog that day and joined his friends. He and Ashley met right outside the house when they both were going back home. Ashley asked what Dean had been doing. The guy said, I walked the dog and then went to play video games with my friends. Ashley immediately understood he was lying. How did she figure it out?
Bro, there are no dog tracks on the snow.
It's winter. Look at the footprints in the snow. There are Ashley's footprints going both ways and Dean's footprints going both ways too. But there are no dog footprints. Mrs. Rivers reported that someone had broken into her house. They stole all the money and jewelry she kept in her living room. Detective Callum arrived to investigate the crime. The room was a mess. It was obvious that someone had been looking for something there. But in the end, the detective concluded that there was no robbery. Mrs. Rivers made the whole thing up. Why did he decide so?
Why did he decide so? Because there was no robbery. All it was just broken pieces. Actually, yeah, broken pieces. Nothing was actually robbed. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Look at this very expensive and fragile tea set lying on the floor. If a criminal had really been there, he wouldn't have cared about the set. It would be smashed after falling down. It seems that when Mrs. Rivers was staging a robbery, she didn't feel like breaking her expensive tea set.
Boom! Does that count? I'm gonna count it. That's 4.
Viviana and Malcolm were working outside. Malcolm was repairing the roof, and Viviana was working in the garden. Suddenly, a hammer fell from the roof and hit Viviana on the head. She was taken to a hospital, and the police came to figure out what had happened. When Malcolm told them everything, the police arrested him for staging an accident.
Ooh.
Why didn't they believe the guy?
Why didn't they believe the guy? Both of them were working outside. My man was on the roof with no head protection, no harnesses. If OSHA was there, boom, instant fine. Then we got the lady working over here. There are no flowers in this yard. So how could the cops know that this was staged? I mean, if from what we saw, this man was working on the roof in the middle and the lady was on the very far right? So I'll be honest here. I think from the little bit of construction knowledge that I have, my eye, it's crying. From the little construction knowledge that I have and repairing stuff, I don't think you need a hammer. Rather, you need something like a nail gun to be fixing the roof. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Viviana was working right next to the house. She was sitting under the roof. If the hammer had fallen accidentally, it would have slid down the roof and fallen behind the woman's back. It could hit her only if someone threw it at her on purpose.
Damn! Boy got caught. Alright people, but if you guys enjoyed that video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe because that would help me a lot. And I would be very appreciative if you guys did so. Sorry if it was a little annoying that I had to stop because my eye started crying or, you know, I just sound a little different. Sorry for that. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. But anyway, if you guys did, please give it a like. And I will see you guys in the very next video. Whenever that comes out, I have no idea. We'll see, but whatever. Bye!